Comic Coalition here for another video for you guys today. Now, today's a big day. The day that we've all been waiting for. Today, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot comes out on Blu-ray. Most of you already know, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. I love Clerks, one of my favorite movies of all time. Love Mallrats, Chasing Amy. For some reason, I'm not a big fan of Dogma. I don't know why. They used to play it so much on Comedy Central that I grew to hate it before I even knew who Kevin Smith was. Like when I was a kid, like way early on, I just hated Dogma. I never really sat down and watched the whole movie. But yeah, I love Tusk. All right, come on, guys. Tusk was before and after its time. I say it all the time, and I know it sounds weird. How can the movie come before and after its time? Well, I say it came after its time because the use of like prosthetics and the body horror of it all, it makes you feel like just the craziness of it all just felt like something that you would get in the 80s or the 90s, early 90s. It just did. The feel of the movie felt like a movie from back then, like one of those crazy horror movies we used to watch back then. And I could tell you right now, not that many movies in life disturb me to the point where I will keep talking about it, and I can imagine these images in my head. And just seeing that guy, I think it was Justin Long, just seeing him as a walrus, man, it shook me to my fucking core, bruh. It shook me to my core, and I just thought, like, I've watched a lot of horror movies, a lot of slasher films. I see people die in crazy ways. But the last thing I would want, I think the very last thing, just about, that I would ever want, is to be kidnapped and turned into a freaking walrus. And at the end, when his girl comes to see him and feeds him, and he's just a walrus, like, oh my God. How does that not freak you out? I love Tusk. But yeah, today's about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I love Jay and Silent Bob movie. I love the Jay and Silent Bob characters. I'm not sure what to expect from the film. I mean, even though I kind of know what to expect from the film, considering the fact that Kevin Smith kind of spoiled the entire movie on his social media over the last few months, I get that he was really excited about making this film, and I can't blame him. But I kind of wish he didn't spoil all the cameos along the way. But it is what it is. It's nice seeing a filmmaker that excited about their work that they can't even contain themselves. So I'm happy about that. I'm ready for the goofiness. I'm ready to roll up, smoke one, and watch this movie. But I've seen a few other movies lately as well. I saw Marriage Story, and I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, I am done. As of today, well, really as of last night, I am done listening to these Hollywood critics, these critics from LA, giving me a bad taste in my mouth for movies, or making me feel like a movie's supposed to be great when it's not. Marriage Story was in no way, shape, or form. Do I think it deserve an Oscar? I mean, yes, there were some good performances. I mean, but in all reality, I don't feel like Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson had to do much throughout the whole film. There was a couple of arguments. One in particular, like when he was like, I wish you got hit by a car, died. That was pretty powerful. But other than that, I think that's what people are really basing that whole entire movie on, like two arguments that happened in that movie between Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson that look really emotional, but other than that, the movie doesn't do much and doesn't say much. And it's totally unrelatable. That was my biggest problem with it. Like, everyone in Hollywood seems to love this movie, but literally, if you work outside of Hollywood, if you work outside of the entertainment industry, this movie's totally unrelatable. It's about a guy who writes Broadway plays and his actress wife. And their problems that they have, like I said, are totally unrelatable. It's like acting and, just problems and stuff like that. Like, you will not connect with that. with that aspect of the movie in any way, shape, or form, unless you are an actor or actress or a screenwriter. Cold and windy out here, but into Best Buy, what are you doing? Double Tap came out today. Our Zombieland Double Tap. I've only seen the first one like halfway through. I don't know why, but I need to take a better look at it. Recently watched The Fanatic, and let me tell you, John Travolta's performance in that movie is just bonkers and off the wall. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Watch it. It's worth the watch for sure. Saw The Kitchen, thought it was kind of lame. Crow was pretty good. I Got Married, but haven't watched it yet. I have watched people in Hollywood basically take a big shit on this movie for months. And I had it on 4K sitting here for a while. And I just didn't watch it. I just kept putting it off of putting it off because I was like, man, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Everybody in Hollywood saying it sucks. Things like that. But I watched it last night. Don't get me wrong. I don't let critics form my opinion for me. I always see the movie regardless. But I mean, after hearing, there's only so much time in a day, only so much time in a lifetime, and I have to pick and choose what I'm gonna watch because I'm consumed with so much content. Whereas Netflix shows, Hulu shows, all the superhero shows, all superhero movies, it's just so much to keep up with. So I don't want to waste my time, on bullshit movies when there's tons of good movies out there to watch. But I'm glad I finally watched this last night because it was really cool. I thought it was really, really cool. One of the coolest like original like sci-fi movies I've watched in a while. Definitely some of the dopest space scenes. I mean, just alone the little. I don't want to spoil anything, but you can kind of see it right here on the movie cover. That chase when they're on like the moon rovers and they're chasing each other down and shooting at each other, man, that was some of the dopest things I've ever seen. Like that, I thought that scene was really cool. So, yeah, if you haven't already, if you've heard bad things, and you kind of put it off, don't go watch Ad Astra. Go watch Ad Astra. I thought it was really cool, and after you watch it, let me know what you think about it because I want to talk about it. It seems like not a lot of people have watched this movie, probably due to like a lot of what people were saying in Hollywood. But I'm telling you, man, it's a good watch. Say hello to YouTube, buddy. Say hello to YouTube, buddy. Are you excited about this, Yamcha? Alright, so anyway, I've been watching a lot of movies lately. And I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but a lot of them just haven't been doing it for me. I finally saw It Chapter 2, and man, that had to be one of the most disappointing movies for me in a while. It lacked all the charm of the first one. The best scenes in It Chapter 2 were the scenes that involved the kids. I never fully bought into the grown-up Losers Club. Don't get me wrong. They casted the perfect people to play them. Perfect casting. All-Star, a nice cast, but I didn't feel their chemistry there at all. Like, maybe, I don't know. I didn't feel any chemistry there. I didn't feel a payoff at the end. I don't know. It was just better when it had the Goonies, when it had the Stranger Things kids. It was just better with the kids. Once it got into the grown-up part of it. Oh, and one of my big problems with the movie was you hardly see Pennywise. The movie is long as hell, and you see maybe 5-10 minutes worth of Pennywise. There are some cool, interesting creatures in there, but a lot of the times when you saw the creatures, I would just think like, hey, I guess that look kind of creepy or kind of weird, but I'd rather see Pennywise. This is the It movie. Why do you keep showing us these weird oblong lady demons and stuff, man? Just show us freaking Pennywise. Honestly, I felt like they tried to cram a lot into the movie, but not a lot happened. It was just, I don't know, it was kind of messy, and I think they could have benefited from making it a trilogy. You have the first one with the kid Losers Club. The next one would be like when the Losers Club get back together, getting reacquainted, you know, crazy stuff's going on, of course. And then the third one be when they finally defeat Pennywise, because, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. It was like they tried to cram a lot into the movie with also outdoing anything. So it was like, I went in expecting a whole lot to be crammed into the movie, you know, like a whole lot of stuff happening. And there was not much happening at all, but there was a lot going on. It's hard to explain. They're trying to do a lot story-wise without showing you anything on screen. You know, any action on screen. It's pretty stale. While they were still trying to do so much in the background, and it just didn't add up and didn't come together. I don't know what the guy was thinking when he made the movie, but if it wasn't for the fact that it was It Chapter 2 and Pennywise and the IP attached to it, it would have been a garbage movie for the most part, you know? Just to be honest. Like I said, loved Ad Astra. The Fanatic, I touched on that for a second while I was in Best Buy. You guys need to watch that movie. Just for John Travolta's haircut alone. His haircut alone is what sold me on the movie. I'm like, what? John Travolta's looking like this, I gotta get it. And tell me that his performance in Fanatic wasn't just as good as whatchamacallit in The Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. Tell me, give me a legitimate reason why you think Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker had a better performance than John Travolta in The Fanatic, because I would like to know. That's another movie that I saw recently, and I have a bit of a hot take on it, but we're not gonna touch on that because I already did a hot take video, and I've been receiving tons of hate online about it, even though I specifically said that I liked the movie and it's one of my top movies of the year. The only thing I said was, hey, the movie had nothing going on. It had very little to offer besides Joaquin Phoenix's performance. And his performance looked like it was inspired definitely by Michael Jackson. If you go watch Michael Jackson interviews, his awkward interviews, I'm not talking about him on stage dancing, I'm talking about like his little interviews, especially the ones after he's been accused of being a pedophile, you'll see that's exactly how he was acting in that movie. Guys, when it comes to these Blu-ray hunts, Blu-ray hunting videos are some of my favorite videos to make. Some of the main people who influenced me and inspired me to finally make YouTube videos would be like Wet Movie 1 and Cool Duder. I don't know if you guys know them or not, but they're Blu-ray hunters. Before I got back big into toy collecting, I had Blu-rays and DVDs was my thing. I always liked toys, but when I got a little older, I thought that I needed to stop collecting toys for some reason, because that's kind of how society makes you feel. So I really got big into collecting movies because I've always been a movie buff. I had thousands upon thousands of DVDs. I think at one time I had like 5,000 DVDs and about 1,200 Blu-rays. But I wound up getting rid of my whole entire collection. And now I've been building back my Blu-ray collection. I've been building it back up lately. But that was one of my passions before I got back into toy collecting. Once I realized that, hey, there is a community of people who still collect toys and stuff like that. But Blu-rays and movies were always, you know, one of my passions, and I love making Blu-ray hunting videos, and I would pump them out every week and do it more often. It's just I don't have any movie stores around me anymore. All we have left is Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. And all three of those stores, the Best Buy, multiple Targets, and multiple Walmarts have all condensed down their movie sections, and they're constantly playing loud music, so it's hard for me to really get out there. I mean, I could sit here and talk to you guys in front of the camera about movies all day, show you what Blu-rays I picked up, but I like to get out there on the hunt and talk about stuff while I'm out on the hunt, and it's hard to do when there's really not much to show and there's music everywhere. And at Best Buy, we know how Best Buy is. If it's not loud music playing, it's a Best Buy member coming up to you 24/7. Hey, do you need help with this? You need help with that? Like, no, dude, I'm clearly trying to make a goddamn YouTube video. Please leave me alone. So, yeah, I would be pumping out videos more often once everything's done with that, for sure. So I wound up picking up two things today. Now, you guys know I had to pick up the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Kevin Smith's one of my favorite directors. I love all of the Jay and Silent Bob, View Askew films, from Clerks, Clerks 2, Mallrats, all those movies, of course. they've been ingrained in my life and been a big part of my life and part of the reasons why I love movies. So I had to pick that up. Let's just go ahead and give you a closer look at the disc. In the back, I believe it does come with a few special features like cast interviews, bloopers, and a hair reel. And I also picked up The Lighthouse. Off the top, I like the fact that this slipcover is so glossy. If you guys pick up this movie, I'm telling you, like, it's just straight butter. It's straight butter. I love this movie cover, but heard a lot of interesting things about this. I love William Dafoe. I'm starting to really dig Robert Pattinson. He's going to be the new Batman. That movie that he's in, Good Time, I suggest that you go watch that. If you have any problems with him being Batman, if you go watch Good Time, I think you'll see that he's ready for the role. He's ready for the role. But I heard this movie is weird, different, um, and crazy, and that's why I wanted to watch it. I had to pick it up. I've heard a lot of great things about both their performances as well. And I'm just really, I don't know what to expect from it, you know? I know that it's going to be awkward and weird, but I don't know what direction they'll take with the awkward and weirdness, basically. So, really excited about watching this one as well. But I've been picking up a lot of movies lately, like I said. I just haven't been pumping out the Blu-ray hunts videos, but going to try to do that more often. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, you have a good day, YouTube.